Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I also want to give double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well in sincerity and charity. Peace and salutation to the Lord's beloved elect. I'm the Billy What's Up Rock, coming at you with a very quick lesson to the Spirit, Lord willing. I pray that it may be edifying and exhorting for those that listen in. And it's going to be very quick, straight to the point. I didn't have a topic in mind, but I did want to bring out some precepts that just comfort your spirit, that just fill into your cup, because I know there's a lot of Akim and Akwat out there, you brothers and sisters, that have moments where you feel like you're unstoppable and you're just really hot in the spirit. There's other days where you just wake up and you're not feeling that same type of energy. And that's all right. We always got these scriptures to come back to. I just wanted to bring a couple out and go into them through the Spirit. And this is the first precept, a powerful precept that a lot of Christians use, but, it's meant for us, the Israelites. It's meant for our people. This is the book of Philippians 4:13. I could do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. So ultimately, we're nothing without the Lord Yahweh Shai. And that's the author and finisher of our faith, the champion of our nation. We know that we have a Savior to look up to that is the King of our nation, who is spotless, blameless, innocent, and perfect, undisputed, and undefeated. All right, he won every single battle that he went through, and we got to look to him. We know that we can't do this on our own. If we do this on our own, we're nothing. The scriptures say in the book of Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So if you think you got this on your own, you're mistaken. The Lord will show you time and time again. He'll humble you to make you realize that you ain't nothing without the Lord. You got to realize that. And, we're constantly being strengthened through, Yahweh Shai, and nobody can come to the Father, Yahweh, except through his son, Yahweh Shai. So we're constantly understanding that, building our relationship with him, and prospering as we march towards that prize, which is salvation, which is that crown that's incorruptible. The next precept that I have is, who wants to cooperate with me. Lately, I've been having connection issues. Okay, this next precept in the book of Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord Yahweh, he it is that thou go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So this just goes to show you the Lord is with you every single step of the way. He doesn't want you to have fear. He doesn't want you to, have fear in men. What he wants you to do is cast all your anxieties upon him, for he careth for you. The Lord cares immensely for his elect, for his royal, chosen, peculiar people, those that are serving him in truth and sincerity. And he wants us to be strong and confide in him. Don't be afraid. All right? Don't be afraid. When I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear him. Roughly paraphrasing. But the Lord, Yahweh is with you everywhere you go. The scriptures say in the book of Romans 8:31, what shall we then say to these things? If Yahweh be for us, who can be against us? All right. So if Yahweh is with you, who can be against you? Doesn't matter if you have millions of people, and you have your back against your wall. You have millions of people trying to go against you, man. It doesn't matter. The Lord's on your side. That's all that matters. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right, so if you're calling upon the name of the Lord and his true heavenly name, Yahweh, and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, all right, you think the Lord is just going to throw you astray? If you're sincere, man, if you are of the elect, he's going to deal with you no matter what. Even when it seems like times are tough, the Lord is with you. And you got to look at these examples in the scriptures. Look at the generations of old and see. You got Daniel, who was in the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he didn't throw in the towel. He didn't, grow weary or faint. He stood firm on faith, and the Lord was with him every step of the way. Yahweh Shai visited them in that fire. Look at King David, a small shepherd boy that was being overlooked And the Lord was with him as he defeated Goliath. Ultimately, it was through David's faith and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We got to be walking in that same nature. All right, and the Lord will not let us down. He's the one that created each and everything in this world. All right, if we're calling upon him and he sees that, we're really fervently believing in him with faith, he's going to deliver. He's going to deliver us. And you got to have faith first and foremost. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Roughly paraphrasing, that's Hebrews 11:6. A precept that I also like to bring out is the book of Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? So although you don't see everything playing out the way you want to in this very moment, you got to have faith that the Lord is going to deliver. And, I'm the testimony for that, man. There were some certain things that I was praying for, certain things that, was withheld from me for a very long time. I couldn't understand it at first. It was definitely making me frustrated, but I had faith and confidence. And the brother Sarah, shalom to the brother, told me to just keep throwing up them prayers. The Lord knows what we want. He knows the desires of our heart, and he answered. He took care of me in that situation. Very, very thankful for that. So to Wadiyah by Shemel Shai, and he's going to do the same for you guys out there. You have something on your mind. He doesn't want you to have anxious, fearful, panicking thoughts about it, whatever it may be. Bring it up to him. Cast your anxieties to him, for he careth for you. But when you do that, have faith. All right, have faith that the Lord will deliver you or answer your prayers in his divine time, according to his will. Not going to be how we want it at the exact time, but the Lord will make sure that prayer gets answered so long that it's in his will, so long that it's for your benefit, because he is a jealous power. He doesn't want you to be doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, so to speak. This is the book of Isaiah 41:10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am Yahweh. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with thy right hand of my righteousness. All right, so the Lord will continue to strengthen you. He'll help you. He'll assist you. All right, he's our shield and buckler. And if we're under the Lord's Psalm 91 shelter during these times, we're going to be upheld with his right hand. The Lord controls everything. He controls when each and every sparrow drops. He has to ordain each and every animal dying, each and every animal being procreated, so on and so forth. He ordains everything. So if we're really on his side, just imagine what he's going to do for his elect. And we got to believe that we are of the elect. All right, we got to hope. We got the hopeful elect, man. We're putting on as the elect, giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. Deuteronomy 20:4, for the Lord Yahweh is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you, all right, to save you. Our salvation, right, is through the Lord and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who is, once again, and I'm going to say it a second time, the author and finisher of our faith. Because without him, we cannot obtain salvation. Our salvation is through Yahweh Shai. Never forget that. Always have that on your mind. And the Lord is with you wherever you go. He's going to fight for you. Don't worry, man. Don't think you can do it all on your own, man. Carnally. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mightily through Yahweh for pulling down our strongholds. And there's been countless times where I could, say that the Lord answered my prayers, man. And I let the Lord handle it. I didn't, handle it myself, even though I wanted to. I was very, very irritated at the way that certain people done me egregiously. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to go into detail. But, me and the brother Barak, sent some fervent curses. It didn't hit right away, but trust me, they hit, and they hit in a fashion that you could never even imagine. Something that me and him could have never handled ourselves, man. The Lord punished these enemies of ours in a fashion that was marvelous. That just goes to show you the Lord will answer us. He'll fight for us. All right, be still. Let the Lord deal with your battles. Have faith. All right. Going back to these, like I said, Akim, the service is very slow today, so just bear with me. Babu Gusha. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10:13, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, whom will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Exactly. So when we're going through certain things, we need certain strength. The Lord understands that he's not going to give us a battle that we're not able to handle. He knows that we're able to go through that. You just got to find comfort in that alone, knowing that the Lord is not going to give you something that's out of your reach. Even if it might seem like it's out of your reach, he knows that you're able to bear that burden, and each and every brother and sister has their own their unique tailor-made burdens. To some, it might be light work. It might be a cakewalk. But that same thing that might be easy for you might be harder for a brother that might be more seasoned. The Lord, designs it in his own divine manner and fashion. But the point that I'm trying to make is no temptation will take you that is common to man. The Lord will not suffer you to be tempted more than you can handle. All right, so you got to continue to have faith and rely on his strength even when you're going through moments of adversity, because that adversary is there to refine you, through the frustration, through the times where things don't go out your way. You might feel hurt, you might feel in pain, you might feel anxious. The Lord wants to see what you're doing in these times, if you're going to go to him or you're going to figure it out on your own. The last thing he wants you to do is figure it out on your own. That's why you got to always go to him. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 12 and 9 through 10. And this correlates with the precept that we brought out in book of 1 Corinthians, with temptation and certain things that we go through, certain ailments, certain vexations. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. All right, so we get strength through Yahushai, through Hamashiach Yahushai, and he will rest upon us, So continuing on, it says, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, and persecutions, in distresses for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So, we're being clowned at, man, being scoffed at, being undermined, looked down upon while we're here. But guess what? They did the same thing to the champion of our nation, Yahushai. All right, so he had to go through that. He had to go through all that, all right, in order to pay for the remission of our sins, to give us everlasting life. So it's going to happen to us too. The world hated you. Remember, it hated me first. And with that, we got to understand that, we're strengthened during these moments of weakness. If we were, getting all that we wanted every single time, and it was a cakewalk, and, we got 15 wives, a big badass mansion, the Bentleys, the cars, we would be choked out by the lust of this world. We wouldn't know what it feels to really be close with the Lord, because we'd be distracted. But, the Lord allows these moments to happen where we are built back up, or we're refined through adversity. I also want to bring out the present suffering does not compare to the glory which we will receive. Okay, that's the book of Romans 8 and 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. All right, so when we make it into the kingdom, Yahweh, we are of that number. All the suffering, all the tears, all the pain, all the cries, all going to be wiped away. It's not going to compare to that glory, that joy, that pure joy that we're going to be able to receive, man. That laughter, that blissfulness that is coming soon to those that endure to the very end. And we hope that we are of that number. This is the book of Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. All right, so we got to be patient. We got to wait upon the Lord. The day of his return, not grow weary, not faint. All right, trust. All right, we're almost at that door. We're going to be able to, mount up like wings as eagles, man. We're going to fly, man. We're going to have superpowers. We're going to have immortality. And we're being transitioned into that time right now. Our souls are only here for a moment. We're only here, man, as pilgrims and sojourners. We can't get caught up in these lusts which war against the soul. We're hoping and praying that we're going to be able to fly and be in the kingdom and have mansions upon mansions and rejoice, man, and sit nearby Yahweh Shai, right, and be in a place that's going to be perfection, all right, and we hope we make it there. This is why it's very important that with faith, with strength, with praying, that we set our affection on the things above as well. Colossians 3 and 2 says, set your affection on the things above, not on the things below. I believe that's Colossians 3 or 2 or 2 or 3. Regardless, it's in our affection on those things that are above that prepares us, to continually rely on the strength of the Lord, to rely on his power, to rely on just confiding in him, which we need to do in these times, man. We can't go days without praying. We can't go days without staying in the spirit, or else we're going to be susceptible to being attacked. Right? It's not going to be good for us. This is the book of Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. All right. Continuing on, it says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Okay, so the Lord wants us to come on to him and cast all our anxieties, our cares. When we're heavy, when we're going through moments, man, where we're being knocked up and down, the Lord is going to renew us. He's going to give us that strength, give us that peace. He's going to give us that rest, because everything comes through the Lord first and foremost. He created everything. So it's very important to realize that you have a mediator. You have somebody there that's going to help you. The ultimate power, the one that created everything. That's Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. For the Israelites, those that are sincere, we have that power. We have a blessing that nobody else can get. All right, that money can't buy. It's either you have it or you don't. All right. Psalms 31:24, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. All ye that hope in the Lord. So, we got to continue to have courage, confidence in the Lord and his power. And he's going to strengthen our heart, and heart also goes into mind, and we pray that we have the wisdom and knowledge, which will be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation, that we're constantly growing, man. We're never staying stagnant. We're just being, our cups are being poured into to the point where they're overflowing. All right. It's very, very important. All right. And, this is why it's so important to seek the kingdom first in everything that you do. Keeping the Lord in the first and foremost priority of your life. Everything else will follow. The Lord doesn't want to see you putting other things in front of him. He's a very jealous power. He needs to be him first and foremost. Everything else comes after. This is Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Therefore take no thought of the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought of it, for the things on itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. All right. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Right. So keep the Lord first and foremost in all your plans, all your desires. Seek him the moment you wake up. All right. Keep him in the forefront, and the Lord will set up that, fine-tune that nice vibration, and everything else will add on. Everything else will follow after that. Closing off with this last precept in the book of Corinthians 16:13. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men and be strong. All right, so stand fast, be steadfast. Always abounding in the work of the Lord, unmovable. And the Lord will allow you to be strong until the very end if you are sincere and if you are the elect. Like I said, once again, we hope and pray that we are that number and continue to stand firm and endure to the very end. Keep fighting, keep the faith, and constantly go back to these precepts, Akim Wa'akwath, brothers and sisters. When you're going through moments, man, good or bad, always go back to these precepts. Right? So with that being said, Lord willing, this is edifying and exhorting to your spirit. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutation to the Lord's beloved elect. Once again, the brother Yosap Brock. Shalom.